Long time ago, pre-Reforged, we met this guy in Hamburg for a pizza. Now, 7 years later, he's still giving us presents. So lovely.
You touched on the differences between this matchup and the previous. Also Happy and 1-2-0. And I would say the biggest one there is the preference for gargoyles. Happy, big preference for gargoyles. 1-0, absolutely not a preference for gargoyles normally. He is way better usually with the fiends. I would say that's something for the entire series. And also on this map, as I just try to get towards, it's great for hex creeping if it's uninterrupted. If you play this map as Undead, I think you have to be very well aware of how the orc creep patterns with Shadowhunter Hex are looking. And you want to be able to intercept.
Alrighty, this is already a way better Blade Master for LYN than it was for Focus. The first claw of an orc today. And a circlet on top of that as well. We also have to say 1-0 not as optimized as a Happy is. Maybe a little more of a free floater, but some genius ideas. And of course, especially in Fiend kiting, there's very few people in the universe that can do it as well as he does. Got the good timing here as well. We also have to say these guys know each other inside out. They play each other quite a bit. They're streaming together daily, exchanging ideas, analyzing games together. Who's in whose head is the question.
Great Blade Master movement so far, by the way. He saw the Undead and then hid behind the trees, avoided being scouted. So now 1-0 might think the Blade isn't here. He might think he can creep this camp without having to use Dust. But then again, he has Dust, so he could just use it if he wishes. Blade shows himself, gets a bit more experience. In this DK, there's a long way to go for level 3.
Agreed. This is already looking a bit different than the previous series, isn't it? We go for the Murloc, he gets another steal. Bam, 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 1.7. LYN presents himself in great shape so far.
This last hit cannot be allowed for 1-0. With the coil with all the ghouls here, it should be easy for him to secure. There's a big tome here as well, by the way. The Blades love the tomes. Avid readers, these guys.
Nerd. Who reads books these days? 1-0 gets the last hit. Well done. But isn't it crazy? If you just compare the early games of this series to Happy vs. Focus.
Way better.
It is, like, it's a different game, bro. Like, Happy was the aggressor. Focus was trying to get something done. And here, LYN is the aggressor, constantly threatening 1-0 into reaction, slowing 1-0 down. While in the other game, it was Happy slowing Focus down.
First little mistake. Misclick on the coil. He called the Skelly. Yeah, LYN is doing this perfect. He's playing this Blade to perfection. He gets the last that he can get, and he even picks up the tomes that he can get. It is not a huge deal, but on this insanely high level, every little thing can have an impact and make a difference.
Exactly. Oh boy. DK will probably be slightly happy as well with the ring against the Blade. That is nice. We also trust in the Shadowhunter. We trust in the double bestiary. And that should then be a red spot. But 1-0 is scouting for that already with an Acolyte. So once again, a unit that will not expire. If the Shadowhunter goes to the middle, try to pull out the Golem as we have seen so often. 1-0 should have an answer for that.
There's a cool play though by the DK, keeping the Blade busy at the fountain. The ghouls over at the green camp. Now missing only 2 last hits. But guess what? The Shadowhunter shows up just to interrupt because he is not there yet. That's a steal. Gets the tome again. Gets the last hit. Gets 1 ghoul. Gets 2 ghouls. God damn, what a sick early game by LYN.
Looking good so far. Defensive coil as well as the Blade Masters. Looks like he's about to die, but he's still at 140. This is well calculated. He's not in damage threshold of a coil. Not even 2 coils. Mana is empty. Ghoul has to deny himself to the creeps. 2.1 Blade, 1.3 Shadow. No level 3 DK. This is a lot of good arguments to be made if you're a LYN fan.
Yeah, absolutely. This is... Honestly, it's looking kind of mirrored. The way Happy was playing perfect much of the series, right now LYN is looking that way. Now, this is just map 1. We shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves. This is far from a perfect series, but this is a perfect early game. Very impressive what it is doing so far, and he gets a nice little lead now moving to the mid game.
All the 1-0 fans, you don't have to give up hope because of this early game. Everybody knows map 1 of 1-0 is by far the weakest. The series really starts on map 2, like a diesel engine. Very, very noticeable throughout 1-0's career how much he's able to step it up from map 1 to map 2. Could argue that he could maybe warm up a little better prior to the series, but I guess he was also casting the Happy versus Focus series, and then comes in a little cold.
LYN, by the way, going for a very early TC. On tier 3, immediately, he halts Wyvern production. Big last hit, by the way! And the Nova is just a little bit too late. There was a split second. Acolyte gave vision, but Lich barely out of range. Now the Lich in trouble. Can the coils save him, though? The next Hex might be dangerous. We got Embedded Spears, but a nice one of Mana Steal should mean safety.
You know, against Happy, I'm not a big TC fan because he always goes air and Gark Destroyers. But we touched on this in the beginning. You said it, I said it. 1-2-0 is a Fiend player. Against Fiends, TC makes all the sense in the world. You stomp them, they can't kite. You take 1-2-0's biggest weapon away, and you destroy the fight. I like this 1-2-0 specific arrangement of the Tri-Hero.
Gonna be a big item here as well. Blade Master with big Invo Potion. Great find to have as well. Gonna give you a long safety window. You can heal in the meantime. Here's the TC. I wonder how many Wyvern we're gonna get total this game. It might just be 3 Wyvern and then he stops. Because we see Ensnare research already. Kodo research already. Maybe LYN doesn't wanna overplay into Fiends, into that piercing damage.
Well, he's a big fan of the Raider Kodo late game army, right? So I would expect to see as many Kodos as we see Wyvern.
Also going pretty defense heavy. We got reinforced fences and spike barricades coming up. Don't even have that many ghouls left, by the way. 3 ghouls on the field, 2 ghouls in the main base. Here the early game again has echoing effects where so many ghouls were killed. Coming back again to LYN's great early game. In fact, he's holding on to a clear supply lead right now.
Dark Ranger third against the TC, absolute necessity. 1-2-0, nothing out of the ordinary, no Banshees against the Wyvern, which I think is a good call in this specific sense. Early Kodo, early Raider. We're gonna have quite a few options starting these fights. Nova against the Wyvern, then of course less useful, but this one was a nice snipe by 1-2-0.
First catch here. That Ensnare a little bit unlucky, perhaps. Blade with the last hit, though. Gonna claim that experience. Would love to get level 4, because he doesn't have that level 2 crit yet.
Well, we get double Invo Potion. Shop control is getting more and more and more important in competitive Warcraft, even though we have 2 shops here. When both Invo Potion go to 1 player, that's of course twice as bad. 1-2-0 is claiming some more XP. Feel like he needs the level 2 Nova prior to the fight. We got another Invo Potion here on the TC, so it's 3. Should definitely give 1 to the Shadow Hunter, because Shadow Hunter is always the Achilles heel.
I love the fact, by the way... Never mind. He just sold the TC aura. I was about to say, I love it that he keeps it and has Stomp, waits for level 2. But I guess now he knows he's getting level 2 from this camp, so may as well sell it. And that's going to be Belt. Great for the TC. But without a Ring of Protection, he might still feel a bit squishy.
Well, if the biggest threat is Coil Nova, and if you're an undead, the biggest threat is always Coil Nova, then more HP is perfect. You might want another ring as well for diminishing returns of the Orb of Corruption, but the only real way, next to the Rune Bracers, to have something against Coil Nova is more HP, and that's what the belt offers, plus also a couple of sweet right clicks.
Death Knight, by the way, super tanky with these items, which are sometimes useless, because normally the Orc focuses everything else first. Trying to take out Destroyers and Fiends with the Ensnares and Kodos, going for the Ghouls, those are easy kills. So sometimes these tank items can have not much use. And I think LYN here did it well, crept up the map, avoided fights for a long time after having a good early game. And I feel like LYN also, this is where he looks different from any other Orcs. He has the patience to slow things down in the late game and avoid fights for a long while, going for Tech instead. Tech, indeed, that's a Torrent Totem across the map.
Right on. Are you getting moist already?
You know, I've seen too many games where I was praying for Torrents, and in the end it's just boring walkers. But now, LYN taking a fight very close to the Undead in main base. On Blight here, the Undead should feel favored. Invo Potion breaks the silence, comes in with the Stomp. It's going to be a double kill, make it a triple kill. LYN may have to back off at some point, losing also some units of his own. With with the supply still being pretty even.
1-0 wide away, catches another Wyvern here. Good XP on the undead side. He might run into an issue now, though, that his ghouls were on the field for the majority of the game and not in the base. Very low lumber, can still go to the shop and even that out. Momentum a bit on 1-0 side.
DK low mana, but he's got the 1 of mana steal. Of course, the health fountain here is great for the orc.
Dude, fountain is so sick for Kodos, man. It's percentage-based healing, right? Kodos, meow.
The Torn Totem was cancelled, by the way. It was just the Skellies from creeping that were sent over there. That slows down that tech quite a bit.
Yeah, he starts it again now. So it's not like he's abandoning that additional layer of the orc army. And this is how you ideally want to use Ensnare. Single out units, kill them. This is... Oh, Banshees are coming in now. Interesting. Didn't think he had the lumber for it, but absolutely does. Blade Master heard, TC heard. 1-0 is getting better and better into this series, but the Kodos are taking care of the Fiends.
Oh,
no! Uh-oh, big info potion, and still the Blade dies.
The perfect game might be slipping away here. One mistake can turn it all around. Ensnare on the Destroyer trying to take that one out. The blade damage is lacking everywhere. Blade now back from the tavern, almost level 4. But this fight has been pretty horrible here for a few seconds for the orc. Blade returns in. Coil on the Dark Ranger. Blade needs to get some kills here.
Oh, 1-0. You're playing better and better and better. But now we got critical strike level 2, and that's, of course, a huge damage boost. Blade again in trouble. Crit for 147. Instant impact. Healing needed. Invul needed. If you take the statues away now, there's limited region for 1-2-0. Gets that one. Wyvern might be suffering for it. And now we got the Tri-Hero Arena that we love so much.
Yeah, but considering the Blade died immediately, this fight is still going really well for LYN so far. A couple of losses here on the exit. The TC, if he goes down, that would be painful, but there was no Nova. TC is safe, backing off to the fountain for free healing. And he's about to hit level 3 TC as well. This is starting to be... No, wait. This straight up is the big power for the Orc late game. We have 4 3/3 heroes in just a moment.
Kodo for free. The Fiend gave the position away, and the Fiend might actually be saved, and it is. Skeleton, Raider not getting the kill here as there was a coil immediately. Huge swing. That's a 7-food swing with just 1 unit.
Yeah, that chase was huge, actually. I love how LYN was trying to get the kill with the Raider when the Fiend pops out, even with the tickle damage from the Raider. That didn't work out. And so... Supply is now slightly favoring 1-0, but the heroes, I would say, are now quite a bit in the Orcs' favor.
4-3-3 against 4-3-2. We're gonna get Black Arrow 2 in a bit. Raiders might then be skeletons in a second. We get Walkers, we get Kodos, and Spirit Link on Kodos provides you with a lot of HP in that Spirit Link pool. That is, of course, dispellable by destroyers, but we ain't having one. Also... I see the Banshee tech, but I don't see a Banshee. There is one, but I don't know... Ah, there she is. Okay, no mirror image to get rid of it, but Invul Potion breaks the curse.
This enchant can ideally remove that curse as well. Walkers, though, have a habit of getting nuked immediately with Coil Nova. Hard to keep them alive. The longer the game goes, the better it is for the Orc. We always say that, and it is true. In this case, even more so. If we get to Torrens on a map with fountains, that would be crazy. I
am a bit in love with Spirit Linked Wyvern as well. They are glass cannons, but Spirit Link is one of the best things you can have for glass cannons, and we don't have Dispel here. So LYN engaging, fresh from the fountain, out of the bathtub, into the fight.
And the great thing here is also you can dispel the silence from the TC. You can see how he pulled back the Walker to have the silence ready, the dispel ready, I mean, if needed. One Kodo, though, almost killed the second Kodo. Also almost going on the piercing damage from the Fiends here is huge, actually.
Raiders attacking the Banshees. Don't want this entire army to get cursed. 6 saves by LYN right next to the fountain. Oh, this is so much healing for free. TC trying to get a little bit of that bath water as well. People pay a lot for it. Marching forward now. 1-0 still holds his ground, but might just, like, reinforcements will be tough to get in for LYN, except if it's air units. Huge damage boost with Wyvern now.
Oil misses, another Fiend goes down. Undead units seem to be dropping. Mana running low, but the DK has a mana potion still. Wyvern getting sniped quickly. I don't know if that was the best macro decision to go for. Those Wyvern in the late game, a little bit underwhelming against all those fiends, but the Orc heroes are delivering so far.
Great burrows by 120 as well. Destroyer still on the field. This Dispel option is huge against the Spirit Link. Heal Wave ready. Lots of the Orc units not in the fight, still healing up. Stomp on the TC, go for the Dark Ranger. No invul on her. Coil must be there, and it is.
One small mistake here by LYN. He forgot about the dust. How much is it going to cost him? He's going for the reveal, though. He's got that crystal ball, I think it was, or something. Late Master hurt now, in trouble, but Invul Potion still available, running back to the fountain. Oh, what a fountain this is.
Sick fight for both of the players. Chasing the Kodo once again, getting a little sheep block here. Free healing for LYN. If only he had some mana regen, right, Orc fans? Don't have that just yet. For 120, of course, we do. Best statue micro in the world. Fiends looking good. We might need another Banshee. It is in production. Takes a long time to get there. LYN quite cornered. No TP.
Only one Raider for the Ensnare. That's the playmaking unit. Going for the statue in the back immediately. Raider might be going down quick. Standing Orc army looks a bit weird right now. Not much is doing damage except for the Blade Master.
That Destroyer not over the forest here. Gets a coil, but that cannot be used offensively. Blade Master has to be quick on the finger with the Invul Potion. Does so. Destroyer can't move because of Orb of Lightning, of course. Spirit Link reapplied. Fiend again got brought back. Blade. Nova! Is there enough damage to kill this Blade? Then it might just be over. Spirit Link to the rescue again.
Oh my god. TZ gets surrounded on the back end. Can you fight him out somehow?
Oh, I think so. There's an Invul Potion there. Spirit Link reapplied once again. TC has another stomp in a second as well. Huge control. Raider falling. Banshee taken out one more time. But there's no hero kill potential without the blade.
Eats the Fiend before the Devour. Pretty sick there as well. Lots of mana now. Shadowhunter hurt. TC hurt. Where's the Nova going to end up? This is going to be a big weapon. Blade Master started healing late. In fact, he still isn't healing.
Ooh, he only has the potion. Nova on the Kodo. Mana on the Shadowhunter. LYN running away. He has an expansion. No, it's not. It's not long distance mining. I thought he had an expansion on the back of this fight. That would have been amazing. Now, it surely is not. Everything bent, bruised. LYN 47, 120 42. What a game.
Double Kodo reinforcements. LYN backing off again to the fountain. This one's been so fantastic for him. But the statue is also healing for the undead and giving mana. Lich has quite a bit of mana. The DK also looking decent. And that hero's close to 5. 120 backs off for just a little bit.
Again, no Destroyer for 120. I think against Spirit Link it's essential, but that is of course also a target. Oh, LYN bit greedy with the TC regen here, but it's good to have the strength hero in the back. He can survive a couple of Coil Novas. Is mana gonna be the deciding factor in these fights? We brought again 50-50.
And says the Fiends, immediately looking for the big kills. Blade Master taking quite a bit of damage as well. In come the Kodos. Do we see a Dark Ritual? No, I think he tried to, but maybe a bit too late. Reveal now on the Blade, goes for the potion immediately. He has the dust as well, by the way. May need it now against the Burrow. First one is too late. That's 3 Fiends taken out immediately, but the Blade struggling on low HP now.
9 food, not part of the fight. The Spirit Link Kodos, man. 2 Destroyers up now. This might be a little bit too much, I gotta say. Invul Potion on the Blade, 4.7. The XP bar didn't move an inch this far, but of course Devour is on the way. And then level 5 Blade is on the way as well. Stomp as a massive disable.
The Raiders here, not good for attacking, only good for the Ensnares. The big Nova onto the Raiders. The DK is almost level 5 now. More kills, maybe more skellies as well. Then back to the fountain.
Don't want to fight Kodos at the fountain, do you? Maybe with the statue you want to. Is this a knockout punch for 120? He's far, far, far ahead when it comes to supply. Fiend back as well. DK might be on the menu here, but there's 3 Invul Potions on 120.
Blade is dead! With the Coil Nova takes him out, didn't have Invul anymore, and now without the first hero, things are looking dire.
Uh-oh, how are you supposed to crack this undead army without your Blade Master? Mines are running out in a second too. GG! LYN fans, worry! 120 takes map number 1.
Sick game though. Great back and forth play here. LYN had an incredible early game. Losing that one Wyvern while creeping wasn't ideal. Not having the dust That certainly hurt him. That's one thing he forgot about for the first big late game fight. Those burrows saved lots of fiends. So there's small mistakes to make out here and there. But in general, high level play, really close affair. Hopefully, we're going to get 5 maps of exactly this.
Will we see an even stronger 1-0 now, or was that just peak? Who can step up his game? Who has different branches to go into? Should you give up on the Wyvern too quickly? Can you establish a higher Wyvern count against a lower Fiend count? There's so many things to adjust. And of course, the map determines a lot already. 1-0, scouting against the Blade, but it feels like this is a little bit of a greedy creep, going for the natural right away, even without an expansion. Getting evasion here, uncontested. This has also been a camp that orcs love to take away from the undead. Same as the undead rush across and take that away from the opponent side. So creeping it early, nice adjustment, 1-0.
We saw that also lately by Happy, going for this camp early on, getting that level 2 quick. And what enables this is the Acolyte. You see where the Blade is going. You know where he isn't, so you know what you can safely do. Blade picked up 2 items, and I like that as well. He got a little bit of a stat boost, and he goes for this camp here, the Murlocs, that gives you lots of scouting, usually. Crystal Ball possible, 1 Evolution possible, Sentry Ward possible, so it's all good for scouting, which is great to have early on for the Blade, because he's only alone on the map. Normally he has a tough time scouting just by himself.
1-0 knows pretty much exactly what LYN is doing. He is quite hurt already from the poison Murlocs. Doesn't want to contest this. Plants the perfect vision sentry ward in front of the base. Sees all the timings. That might help him down the road, but he can't contest any creeps.
1-0 could go for a dust here if he saw that with the Skelly. It was a little bit obvious. They could even cancel the graveyard, by the way, right now in the position it's in. Not sure if that's going to be too impactful, though. Blade rather wants to mess with the creeping.
Okay, I mean, if you take 1-0's fiends away, he's at least going to be very sad.
Blade's going to be happy if he gets this last hit. Couldn't, though.
Ooh, that didn't look too sharp, I have to say. LYN sometimes a very emotional player. We've seen Red hurt this. So far. Oh, the movement though. Can't get it, can't reach. These early game exchanges, man, it feel like most of them go to 1-0.
That's a great early game so far. Speed scroll on the Blade Master, trying to chase after a ghoul kill. At least he's gonna get 1. That is minimal impact so far.
Incredible.
If he gets the last hit there, that would have been great, but no. DK level 3 with a big mana potion. This early game is looking way, way, way different.
So content by 1-0, so patient. Waiting till the Windwalk runs out. Was able to save 1 out of 2 ghouls, gets the big mana as well. LYN leaves almost empty-handed. And the Blade is level 1 with no great item on a map that has some of the best items. And 1-0 is also contesting the middle where the Shadowhunter wants to pull some creeps. I feel like this is all 1-0 here in Northern Isles.
Yeah, absolutely. 1-0 wins this early game. Then it's going to have to work from behind. But I mentioned his patience before. He has come back in many games like these. It's going to come down, again, a lot to heroes. If we finally find those levels at some point and some good items, things might turn around. But no claws here, only ring for the Blade. Getting that level 2 now.
Some amazing counterplay by 1-0. LYN is trying to lure out the creeps, but the counter pull is always there with the skeletons, with the DK. Amazing mid-game control for 1-0. He is throwing lots of wrenches into the gears of LYN.
I also like that the Shadowhunter was checking the middle, but the Blade wasn't inactive. He got that camp, he got level 2, picked up the item. Now the Wyvern are here, and this should normally give map control to the Orc. Unless we have a Wand of Negation, maybe. 1-0 picked it up sometimes in the past, but now saves that money, similar to Happy. Doesn't buy that item, still feels strong with this level 3 Death Knight.
Yeah, that's interesting. I thought it has become a staple in 1-0's play. Maybe this is a sign that he doesn't feel threatened by Hex as well. This is supposed to be a huge power spike by LYN, but it isn't. He has to go from one of the biggest spots on the map in the middle that's also contested to a little green. maybe there's a time now to punish 1-0 for this camp, but this is a flute. This is another amazing item. This is a good start for the Lich.
Nice Skelly Scout, by the way, sees the Orc approaching. Speed Scroll Hex can be dangerous here, even if the Blade Master items aren't great so far. Little look at the marketplace, maybe. What do we got? Well, nothing worth buying just yet.
I don't know what's in there, but I trust LYN that he knows when to go for the discounts. 1-0. It is, of course, a heavily contested mid. There's basically no distance between the two camps. There's also no statue, though, as undeads have turned into later slaughterhouses and later graveyards. And so mana and HP is low. This has to go to LYN, and it is. With the Hex, nicely done. Prevents the Nova as you should. And Mana Stone is phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic for the Shadow Hunter. Mana regen before you use it, and then a big boost for when you do. TC's joining. Kodo upgrade. LYN is patiently waiting for his big tier 3 improvements.
We go TC again. We go Battle Bongos again. It seems like a pattern now. 3 Wyvern into diversification. Burrow is ready. He respects ghouls more and more, and the run buys, going for spikes once again after the cement. And I think the Focus vs. Happy series showed how much damage ghouls can do against these burrows, so spikes is an amazing tool against that. Just like a big mana pot and a mana stone is both amazing for the Shadow Hunter, as well as the orb that's coming in. Okay, we're gearing up for the late game.
Blade Master would still love to find some more good items for himself. Only +3 at the moment is very underwhelming. Next item here, Ring of Regen. Meh. Still have some work to do for a strong Blade Master triple hero play.
Thank you, Jaredan, for the 4 months. Much love. If you want to be as cool as Jaredan, if your Prime subs lying around, we gladly take them. Supports the channel, allows us to do what we're doing. LYN roaming a little bit, not savvy enough for the red spot, but his base is empty. He doesn't have a TP. 1-0 checks out. What can I do here against spikes and cement? Not much.
I like this. The Kodo kept at home because LYN knows that his opponent is sharking for reinforcements right now. Great heads-up play here. Second ring of protection, so these heroes are becoming very tanky for LYN on the ground. And speed scroll away, and compared to the last map, he doesn't lose at Wyvern easily. To a little under approach.
Again, we go Windwalk 2 in a moment where I feel like you can smell the fight coming already. Wonder how he's using that one, if it's really necessary. Maybe he feels like the inventory isn't big enough to warrant a crit 2, as the increase is not that much. But yeah, it's a lot of creepcraft. Very few interactions between the two now. And we get a temple once again. It seems like this is the established strat for 1-0.
Yeah, we get a dust early. This cannot be understated how important it is. Dust of appearance will oftentimes actually win you a game, straight up. If the dust gives you 4 fiend kills that he wouldn't have gotten otherwise, that can be a game winner. I like that he picks that one up, but he doesn't have an Invo potion. And taking fights without Invuln, very, very scary. Crucially important, of course, on this map. To take control of the middle shot.
Red spots now. Big items. Katka's Pipe would of course be amazing for 1-0. Everything with movement speed as well. Gets a little damage buff for the Lich. More mana, more attack speed, all of it. For LYN, this item might be even more important because the Blade Master is severely lacking in damage.
That was another ring. 3 rings found, 1 ring sold. Then would love to get this red camp before 1-0 arrives. 1-0 scanned earlier, saw it wasn't taken. Oh, I'm surprised he's going for the green camp here. Trying to do it with the Dark Ranger, still trying to get up there with the Death Knight.
Okay, Coil can't steal the Magnetor Reaver. It is magic immune. And that is the last hit item. Battle Bongos. That's a bit unfortunate. Doesn't stack with the Kodos.
And then backing away. Here again is that patience. Not going into fights yet. If he doesn't have to. LYN feels like the longer this game goes, the better it is for him. And now he spent a lot of his gold, by the way. 65 supply. Big army here for LYN.
Coming in, indeed. We are heavier on Wyvern, way heavier on Wyvern, as we only have 2 Fiends as anti-air, alongside Kolnova, of course. 0 sign of any bats in comparison to Happy. We try to snipe these ghouls, which will give a lot more control on the ground. Oh,
Silence TC right now. When the silence wears off, maybe he's going to re-engage. Silence, long cooldown. And now in we go onto the ensnare target.
Right on. The Fiend has to be taken out. The ghouls on the ground, very, very strong. Destroyer micro by 1-0. Very well done, but Destroyer also out of the fight. Without the investment of bats, I think this favors LYN.
Yeah, absolutely. He's on the chase, looking for another ensnare. The Raider is fast with that aura especially. Re-engaging now. Webb's coming in again. Needs to remember the dust, and there he does. Another Fiend killed, another Ghoul killed, Banshee killed. LYN is racking up these kills right here.
Also, the Banshee sniped immediately. So much damage on the blade. Now the Fiends have been taken out. These extra 2 Wyvern, man, the amount of damage they bring into the fight as glass cannons can't be overstated. The Kodos are the solution against ghouls. Bats are oftentimes lost value. We have the dust that you so love, and that's also a TC level 3.
Yeah, this is great for LYN. Crazy, right? How map 1, he owns that early game, then ends up losing on later on. Here, it was the other way around. 1-0 great early game. Now LYN clearly in the lead. And I think LYN here was showing courage. He had the courage to save a bit of money, but then break into 65, and he knew he was strong then, takes the fight there with great execution. And now he's in a good position. 20 supply up, almost.
I feel like this is a way better army composition. So much more damage. And still control. Oh, that Lich. Oh, that Lich. The coil is a little bit too late. Gets nuked into oblivion. Now we got crit level 2 unlocked for even more damage. Poison is ramping up. That Fiend is severely misrallied. 1-0. Shaky. But he was probably busy typing that GG. The series is tied.
Nice. That's exactly what we want to see. 1-1 tied up here. LYN doesn't get flustered. Some lesser player after losing map 1 after a great position, then losing the early game on map 2, might start doubting himself, might play very passively, might not go for his windows, but here LYN clearly was looking for a window, was trying to get aggressive around that red camp, takes one amazing fight, and doesn't let go of it after that. This was a great showing by him, and yeah, those Mass Wyvern chopping down the heads, even when the blade didn't deliver that much damage. We rarely see followed up with Wyvern. Not that it can't work, but normally the best thing about the Wyvern is you get him out so fast with that tech rush, and then you can get nifty with the creeping as well. You can dominate oftentimes the ghouls in the mid game. Of course, with a build like this, an opening Wyvern would be a lot later.
You know what?
Yeah.
This might be the old school 29 style with Berserkers down the road, like late game Berserkers. 1-0 is a Fiend player, not much of a Ghoul player. I mean, Dark Ranger's still strong against them, but I think this can work, especially versus 1-0.
Yeah, I think playing Fiends here, if it's Berserkers, would be a big mistake.
I mean, you go Fiends first
them.
before you see the tier 3 Berserkers, right?
I think before you go Frenzy, you never go Fiends here. And at that point, you can make adjustments. What would be cool, maybe, would be only a single Wyvern to trigger Fiends, and then just Berserkers follow-up, which are better against Fiends.
I wonder if it's a mistake to show something like this already in the winner bracket semifinal when you know that Happy's waiting in the potential next round. Because he's watching, man. Big Demi's watching you.
Yeah, but I think here, you know, we're late in the tournament. We are among the best. I think here you gotta play, for the most part, your best strategies. You save your strats in the show matches, but here, I think you want to play whatever wins.
Did you see Yumiko Arena, what Happy was able to do? Plays the lower bracket match versus Focus, then in the grand final versus LYN, and he played 2 completely different sets. It was so impressive.
Yeah, that's crazy. If you can pull that off. Not everybody can, though. It's a pretty passive early game so far. Lots of creeping. No fighting yet. I like this creep out here by 1-0, taking away the seafood camp. Again, big, limiting the chances of claws of attack.
Yeah, this seems to be a little bit Happy-esque from what we've seen against Focus earlier. I didn't know this is such an easy creep spot for the undead at this stage. Big one, of course. Good claw camp as well. On the other hand, we take out the shop. That is great. Grunt gets the scout. And LYN soon has to make the decisions here. Oh, level 3. So dangerous for the mid game. Has to make the decisions here if it's TC or Shadowhunter.
Yeah, if it's TC second, then should be the tier 2 expo style. With the Shadow, it might be a more traditional tier 3 play. So much gold on him here.
We have seen
it's only 2 grunts, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Sorry. Not 3. We have seen a lot of traditional builds this week, right? We've seen the Keeper Mass Tier 1 expansion attempt by Moon. We've seen Talons as well. Everybody's a bit nostalgic. Yeah, it's exactly this. Remote, this is why they call me the Prophet, right? By the way. Shadowhunter, Beastery, 29, 2010 Orc style. Focus brought this back and it looked really good.
Blade Master thinking about going on a ghoul hunt here. It's going to be almost a kill. Not quite. Maybe on the second try. DK's mana is low. Look how he makes him work for it. It's going to cost him another Windwalk. Going to slow him down. Take a bit more damage. And the Blade doesn't have heal cells right now. Going to take a little bit longer to heal up. But yeah, this is still a good early game for 1-0. He got a couple of nice items. Picked up the big heal potion. LYN really wants to make sure he gets the other consumable from the other lab.
Yeah, 100%. That is essential. With the Shadowhunter, you should get it as well. Is it normal to go double Beastery with this strat?
This just tells me he has 0 trust in Berserkers. He's going to go again Wyvern.
But then it's an odd build, isn't it, with Grunt early? I mean, that gave him a fast level 3.
Yeah.
But that's about it, and that's a big investment.
Maybe he fell on this map. The one-base Blade Master Harass is weak. And the DK just gets away with level 3 anyways, so may as well just go creeping yourself. This could be the line of thinking. He's getting quite a few items and experience here. DK last hit would be crazy, but can't call that one. And that's Claws plus 8, baby. That is actually a huge drop right here.
Yeah, man. Oh, finally some damage on this blade. Circlet, gloves, claw. The big trifecta is up, and we pair that with the damage of the Wyvern, and all of a sudden this Orc army is a lot more scary. Getting ready into position for this last hit. 1-0 triggering the troll. Blade in position. No dust.
Yeah, great timing here by LYN. Trying to come in with the Shadowhunter, bit out of range. Still, I mean. Coil. Last hit. Gets it, but not the item. Picked up the experience. Also good for the Blade. Closer to level 4. End Snare on the Fiend. Would love to kill that one.
LYN got some momentum here. We got End Snare. We got Hand Shadow. Nuked into Oblivion. Coil Nova. Whenever you're in doubt, whenever you're in the ropes, Coil Nova's gonna save you.
He got something for it, though. He killed a ghoul, he killed a fiend, he got the last hit. And it's a level 1 Shadow. He's going to be right back. Might not be disastrous if the Shadow can still get level 3 somewhat soon.
Dude, we are... This game is running exactly as we kind of predicted. It is the one Wyvern fake. 1-0 saw this, smells it, whatever it is. He's going Fiends, and he doesn't stay with Ghouls. He gets Web Ball ready for that Wyvern, and LYN... Oh, wait, he canceled Berserker upgrade. He was thinking about it, he started it, but then cancels it again. Interesting back and forth between them now.
I guess he has some time to decide, because he can spend the next 400 gold on the TC, which he's going to need in any case. Blade Master now level 4. This is a very fast level 4 Blade. This is great to have, actually.
True. Lacking healing, of course. But the Blade Master can create some space. This is exactly how you want to solo creep a Shadowhunter with Wyvern damage with Blade Master roaming.
And with this camp and the green and the rest of the other goldmine, maybe that's enough for Shadow 3, but the TC's gonna come in, maybe soak up some experience. LYN has to make sure to get this level 3 Shadow. It is very, very important.
Yeah, Focus was almost losing game 1 because of the later level 3 Shadow. Blade is still contesting this. If he steals the item, that's phenomenal. He got one empty spot. 1-0 must dust against this though at some point. LYN trying to dodge that dust.
Patient once again.
Yep. This entire series is about patience, it feels like.
LYN must be, in real life, a great father with all the patience he shows. 1-0 though, he's got a ton of consumables. And those consumables will often mean that you're going to be greatly favored in the first big fight.
Ankh as well, big mana, big healing. Lich got a nice inventory. And currently no creeping. TC joins. LYN is, I feel like his Shadowhunter Wyvern army not optimal. Moving back from the red spot now, seeing 1-0 approach. There is momentum on the undead side.
A player's forces are
And the big downside of the Grunt opening, in my opinion, the biggest, is they are really, really bad in the late game. If they attack Fiends, then they might be doing something decent. And in any other case, they are very useless. Very surprised to see brute strength being researched here, just for 2 grunts, which are soon going to be gone.
Yeah, trying to get value out of that 50 food.
Oh, the Kodo. Stuck in the base.
Ah, needs a diet.
A player's forces are under attack.
Should have eaten more plants instead of... I don't know what Kodos eat, actually. Probably everything.
I guess they call that an omnivore. The TC so far hasn't eaten too much in terms of experience needed in the shadow. Blade is looking great, but his friends aren't up to the task so far, it seems.
I didn't share the XP properly. No level 2 heal wave, no endurance aura. When 1-2-0's army is a lot of fiends, but we also have to say no Banshee transition yet.
No longer Wyvern, one goes down immediately. In we go, silence on the Shadowhunter. Doesn't want to die again, very important to keep this one alive. Back he goes, the coil flies though. Shadow goes down, just barely in time. Blade needs to get some return kills, big crit and perk at the same time. But the Lich isn't dead yet. And guess what, he even has an Ankh. And this fight is going clearly the way of 1-2-0.
Dark Ranger was blocking so well. Lich created space. Now we got Frost Armor. That TC is coming in, but being nuked right away. The silence is amazing. So is the coil. Awesome read by 1-2-0 how this fight should go. He had this in front of his eyes. And this is like, that was close to perfection, and LYN knows there's no way back from this. And that takes the second map as well. Necromancer on the way to the winner bracket final.
All right. Good play here by 1-2-0. Controls the map well, chooses the map well. I think Hammerfall fitting that style really well. As we saw, Org late game, low level heroes, not much of a chance. Shadow 2, TC1, that's not enough. LYN, even with perfect execution there, don't think he would have had much of a chance.
We'll see what Autumn Leaves have to offer. 1-2-0 said on the stream, if I see slippers on a Blade Master, it makes me want to leave. Well, thankfully he's still with us here. Same as Happy going for the pull. This delays everything by quite a bit. On this month, LYN is 4-5 against Undead. Of course, a couple of matches against Happy. 1-2-0, 11-6 this month against Orcs. Very, very busy month for 1-2-0. This was going into this, though, a 2-match win streak.
Here we are one more month to witness Nee's road to the title.
Yeah, exactly. Jay Coulter. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, this is the 7th series between the two, 3-3 tied. Now, rings on both sides. I think 1-2-0 will be happy about that. LYN not so much. Physical damage reduction against the Blade Master always lovely. It's good to have some damage mitigation against skeletons and ghouls, but of course Blade Master always wants the big red numbers, and creep routes again read very well. Trying to go for the Sludge Flinger. 1-2-0 not allowing that. This is stealable with the coil, even though it looks demonic. It apparently isn't. LYN gets the circle, though. It's very much a stalemate on the way to tier 2. And then the age-old question, who is this better for? Happy's win condition often. Level 3 DK, 1-2-0. Oh, we have Frost Armor here. This takes time, and this is a bit too easy. Steal right away, close to level 2. This creep is level 2. And the early game going to 1-2-0, it feels like. Obviously, still one fight can turn it all around. Couple of items, couple of exchanges in the middle of this very much contested Autumn Leaves. But yeah, this Frost Armor on the Renegade, this shall be played around. You have to attack another unit after a certain interval, and then the Frost Armor doesn't end up on the Wizard. But yeah, you also feel under pressure because you know that your opponent is sharking around, going for the coils, eh? So, whoa! Shadow Priest and Berserker. Big investments. It's not the first time we see this. This is big, big, big bounties. Oh, do we have vision here? We have vision here. If the DK throws a coil. No way. 1-2-0.
Ooh, speed scroll. Oh, the coil steals it.
Unreal, dude. The Acolyte gave vision. 1-2-0 saw this play coming. Quite a disaster in the XP range. Mana Stone, of course, nice for lots of hexes. But this little exchange just shows how well 1-2-0 knows LYN. And LYN didn't have his eyes around the corner, around the forest. Huge moment for 1-2-0.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge experience swing. That's such a big deal, man. It's all about gathering experience, getting stronger on the heroes as fast as you can. It also seemed like a bit of a dodgy camp to go for in the first place, right? That took forever. The longer the camp goes, the more of a window is there for your opponent to get the creep jack. It could have been worse, to be honest. Imagine it also loses the Berserker. That would have been a huge disaster. At least that one is alive. He's got the Mana Stone. But it's a level 1 Blade Master only.
Yeah, it feels like 1-2-0 has the better reads and execution today. The Blade Master, I mean, he's level 1.5. He's going Berserkers, which, you know me and my opinions about the Berserkers. Not a huge fan, especially when they're out this fast.
Shadow Hunter is now there. With the Hex, one would think it should be an easy last hit. Goes for the reveal. There's the Hex. Gets the experience.
Ooh, this was close, by the way. Lich is bringing Wand of Negation. If this happens 20 seconds later, he has to counter. But, you know, 20 seconds, long time.
1-0, by the way. He is going pure Fiends. And I think the more Fiends we have and the fewer ghouls, the better chances the Berserkers are going to have.
That's right. But there's going to be Coil Nova and there's going to be a Dark Ranger. So there is a lot of ways to diminish that. This is going to be a dream for a TC.
Hi.
And the support by Max87 from Germany, a very, very handsome fella, is also a dream. Thank you very much.
You know we could be sick here in the super late game, like 55 supply, 65, somewhere in that range. A Zeppelin to try to stop the Skelly Snowball. That thing is really hard to micro in a big fight where so many things are happening. I've only ever seen LYN do it really well. But that thing can be a game winner when you play Berserkers.
And that can only work when there's no web, right? Bit of a liability. Might work once, but not twice.
Depends on the situation. Like if you pull the Berserkers back, Fiends on in range, you know.
Web has range? I thought that's global.
There is some range to it. Yeah. It's auto cast and doesn't cost mana, so that's pretty good.
We were thinking this week, I think, can you dodge web by morphing a crow into Talon form?
Oh. I got no idea.
I mean, it's super fast, right? It's a faster projectile than an Ensnare. We've seen it with Ensnare. But if it's possible against Ensnare, it should theoretically be possible versus web as well. It's just so fast.
I feel like Talons are one of those units that if you micro them completely perfect, they will be kind of insane, but it's very hard to do. Blade, by the way, here almost got surrounded. That would have been scary. I guess he's got the Mana Stone to get into Windwalk again, but of course you want to save that if you can.
Parry up the Vitality is a great item against Coil Nova. Hopefully he respects that. We will see a lot of Coil Nova, but maybe mostly on units. Dark Ranger out, 1-0, pushing for the upper bracket final.
Shadow Hunter isn't level 3 yet, though he is close. We got Reinforced Defenses also finishing in about 10 seconds. Undead Army here isn't very big, but it's pretty efficient.
1-0 has been so vocal. Orc is so strong. The fact that Soin is going into a round of age tells you everything is a quote. It doesn't look like that at all. Like he's in such a dominant position against the world's best orc. looking so clean. Very good decision making, very good timings, and Lynn's heroes never, ever, ever getting out of control. But we got the cement up. This base is sturdy.
Time is what LYN needs. Still more time, more creeping, more levels, more items. 1-0 would love to take a fight right now, but if it's not given to him, then I guess he's going to back off, and he's going to be the one to creep up more. 1-0's items, to be honest, aren't that insane just yet.
Flute is nice, of course. Orb of Corruption is completely insane, but so is Orb of Lightning. TC out with the Periapt. I like that he prepares him for Coil Nova. That will be coming. No silence yet against the Stomp. I feel like this TC has to have a great engagement. Otherwise, it's not possible to win this fight.
Liquid Fire was researched for a second. I was about to say, that's not the right thing for this moment.
Yeah, that was desperate. And of course, investment into the future. A future he might not have.
Waiting for the Kodo. He's got the upgrade already. It's going to be a big increase in power. He has to save this bestiary desperately. Peons are ready for the repair. The lumber is looking totally fine. In we go with the Kodo about to pop.
Here we go, onto the Lich. There is an Invul Potion, of course. So far, not much focus on the Berserkers.
Blade Master there in trouble. Has to go for the heal potion. The Kodo gets nuked immediately.
Wow.
Kodo is down right away. That is bad news for LYN.
That is a 20% damage mitigation. That's basically a Howl of Terror, a weak Howl of Terror on this entire army, if you think about it in a way. Shadowhunter just looking, flirting with that level 3, but 1-0 is not giving him an opening at all.
See, hurt as well. No ring of protection. Man, LYN's in serious trouble here. Serious trouble. Again, the bestiary he has to save, but I think now it's too late.
Oh yeah, no repair. That would have been a lot of skeletons, of course. TC down to 50%. Where are the storms? He needs a big one. Off to the fiends we go. Last ditch effort by LYN. He needs a perfect fight to stay alive in the upper bracket. That's not perfect to lose the blade. 1-0. This must be it, man. Undead dominance in the upper bracket. Happy is waiting. Blade dead. TC dead. 3-1. And it wasn't even really close.
Yeah, LYN here played 2 very close series with the Wyvern and then played Grunts into Wyvern and Headhunters. Both of those didn't really come together at all. Bit questionable why he doesn't just play the Standard when the Standard looked so good. We always appreciate players trying to innovate, trying to bring in different strategies. But if only one is working, maybe should have stuck with that one.